This week on 13th December, have you got any plans? I have these 3 plans as well. We have 3 impactful webinars lined up for you. By 10 a.m., why most investors fail at asset allocations and how to get it right. By 11 a.m., NRIs buying health insurance for parents, the smart way to do it. By 10:30 to 12:30, are your finances graded up for the new year? Links for these webinars are given in the description. Do join these webinars and get a useful insights.
The last few years have seen investors obsess over stock picking. Everybody wants to pick a new theme, a new stock, and then popularize it and hopefully make a lot of money. The competitive intensity in stock picking is so high that mostly even the stocks that people pick with great difficulty are expensive. What does this mean? People effectively overpay for what they buy. When you overpay for what you buy, all the effort that you put into stock picking tends to get nullified, because when you overpay, the stock struggles to justify your decision. And this struggle is actually something that happens over a period of time. You overpay and then you have to spend a few years. If you overpay too much, you have to spend many years. But even a few years is a long time for investors in the current market context, because people are not used to seeing red in any line item in their portfolio. No stock should be in the red. If a stock falls 20% for some reason, could be tariff, it could be some factor which is not permanent, people are not able to digest it. They keep asking, why is it down? Why is it down? They become very anxious. So if you're doing stock picking in an aggressive way, you are actually setting yourself up for that phase of anxiety. And the ability of most investors who are obsessive about stock picking to handle that anxiety well is rather limited. That's why I think that investors need to move beyond just stock picking. That is why I think investors need to move beyond stock picking and focus on something that gives them comfort, that gives them peace of mind while owning their portfolios. You need to be very comfortable with what you own. You need to have conviction in what you own for a long period of time. You should not be disturbed by the market events and temporary disturbances that you see in the market, in the companies that you own. In that period, you need to be able to maintain and manage your mind and your confidence correctly. What will help you do that? In my opinion, the only way to manage yourself better is to focus more on your portfolio strategy. Take a complete portfolio approach rather than follow an obsessive stock picking approach. I would think that a portfolio strategy is a higher level approach over aggressive stock picking. In a market where everything is overvalued, a portfolio strategy approach will help you first steer clear of all the expensive parts of the market. There could be a lot of fancy in the market, but you would have the sobriety to tell yourself that, no, this is not for me. I am not going to go here because it is too crowded and too expensive. I mean, when you shop generally for something in life, you know when not to buy something, right? You don't buy paying an excessive premium when you know the same thing will be available after a few months cheaper. That's how we shop, right? You have all your festival shopping, you have Black Fridays, you have the great Indian sale of Amazon. That's how you shop. If you follow a portfolio strategy approach, you will tell yourself first that I'm not going to be anxious about this. I'm going to wait it out because I don't agree with the valuation at which I have to buy these things. So I'm going to steer clear and watch. And then you will see what is it that you can fit in your portfolio that will give you comfort of ownership. You look for specific parts of the market which are undervalued. You will exit expensive themes and look for attractively valued themes. You will try to combine the value investing principles with growth investing metrics to find businesses which are trading at the right valuation and which are likely to give you an upside. All this will string together a set of ideas, themes and assets to form a holistic, complete portfolio. Now let's take 2025. The multi-asset approach worked extremely well. And by taking a portfolio strategy approach, an investor who followed a multi-asset approach would have done far better than an investor who was obsessed about a single stock or a single sector or a single theme. Look at where the investors who are obsessed about the EMS theme are today. See where the renewables theme is moving for people who are obsessed about it. See where the chemicals theme is today from where it was a few years ago. I have nothing against any of these themes, but if you are obsessive about them and you buy them at very high valuations, you're going to encounter a high degree of pain and a long phase of waiting. But if you follow a portfolio strategy approach, you will know where not to go first, and you will go only where you are comfortable. So your portfolio will always be safe zoned before the market presents all the risks at one go. Because in the market, the risks keep rising. Look at 2025, the risks have continuously gone up, and on the other side, you also have liquidity drying up in a lot of themes and counters. When liquidity dries up, what happens is institutional investors get stuck. And if they want to get out, they will get out at any cost. And when they get out at any cost, you will bear the brunt of that impact of their selling in your portfolio because the company valuations will fall very rapidly when an institutional holder of shares in that company is desperate to exit. In 2025, we have seen this happen, but remember one thing, we have set ourselves up for much more of the same in 2026, which means that we still need a portfolio strategy that will safe zone us and keep us away from overvalued investments where selling pressure can completely collapse valuations. When valuations collapse in an overvalued sector, remember that it will take a long time to recover. It's not this V-shaped thing which we have seen in all recent areas and recent times. It's going to be very different. That's why you need a portfolio strategy approach where you safe zone the portfolio using an effective portfolio strategy. You own investments that won't fall too much. And by virtue of owning investments where the downside is protected, you are actually setting yourself for a better upside whenever those stocks and themes come back into favor during a market recovery. So this positioning is so important in a portfolio. How do you position a portfolio for the future? And that is something that is best done with effective portfolio strategy. I am afraid that obsessive stock picking, however well done, would still be found to be inadequate if you don't have a balanced portfolio strategy for 2026. 2026 is going to be another year where portfolio strategy is going to be super critical and stock picking alone won't do. Thank you for watching this video.